Welcome to Cup of Joe. I'm Jason McNeil, and today we're talking about gun control. You probably heard in the news, there's been a ban on military-style assault weapons in Canada, 1,500 of them. So what's going on? What's really happening? Well, first of all, let me dispel some myths. There's a lot of people that are thinking, hey, this is great. We're banning automatic weapons in Canada. It's about time. That's incorrect. Automatic weapons have been banned in Canada for quite some time. There is no automatic weapons legal in Canada. So this ban is about semi-automatic weapons. Now, this is why they say military style instead of military guns, because none of them are used in the military. These are not military grade weapons. These are just civilian weapons made to look like military weapons. Second issue is assault weapon as opposed to assault rifle. Again, is because they're not assault rifles. They're not military weapons. They're not what they're being sold as. They're just imitations of that. So when Justin Trudeau gets up and says, well, look at this AR-15, this scary looking gun. Nobody needs this to kill a deer. He's probably correct. What he's not telling you is that high capacity magazines are also banned in Canada before his little new ban. Okay, so whereas in America, you could have a high capacity magazine, you get off like dozens of shots before you have to reload. In Canada, the law is 5. So all the guns on the list, if you own them, you can have a magazine with a capacity of 5 rounds max. So there's no boof, 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 and there's no brrr. These things don't exist in Canada, okay? They're not legal in Canada before his ban. So I think people have it misconstrued as to what exactly is going on with the ban. Now, second problem, or the next problem is, in the end, it's not a criteria, it's a list, right? So it's not like, okay, this is what makes the gun banned. What makes the gun banned is that it's a popular semi-automatic rifle. The less popular semi-automatic rifles are not banned, and you can still get them in Canada and they're still legal. So it's not even really comprehensive in terms of, actually having like a plan or like a reason. There's no logic behind it. It's just, hey, these are the popular ones. Again, American media is the reason we're doing this. It's very upsetting. Like when Justin Trudeau says we need more than thoughts and prayers. That's not for us. That's for the American media. That's for the Democratic Party. That's for international gun control lobbyists. So you say it and you're like, we need gun control now. People are mad because we want gun control now. Gun control is what we had in Canada. It's what we have in Canada. It's registrations, it's background checks, it's things like this. You understand? It's things like regulating the amount of bullets you can hold in your gun. We don't do that anymore. Right? Now they're just banned. So now all of them are illegal. So you get this illegal gun, you get an illegal magazine, you get all of it is all just illegal. Now the reason this bothers people is not because I need to go out and get an AR-15. It's because Canadian people own 78,000 of these guns. 35 million people in the country. Now, if 78,000 of these guns are out there and they're only designed to kill as many people as possible, you don't think we'd see more carnage, more mayhem? We see barely anything. Like this is not a Canadian problem, but he's drumming it up, is being drummed up as to be a Canadian problem. Okay, so you have 78,000 guns owned by Canadians who have done nothing wrong. They went to bed, they were legal, law-abiding citizens. They woke up, they had illegal property, and that's not fair. And look, for what it's worth, I'm not saying they need the guns, but what I will tell you is Justin Trudeau could get gun laws passed. He could tighten gun legislation. He could even get a ban like this passed with the NDP, with the Bloc, with the Green Party, but he chose not to. He chose to do this in a moment when it's an emergency and I have these special powers and I can stand up and be like, no, I alone am saving Canada from the guns. It's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible move. It's a very weak move to make himself look strong, and to play to his base, and to get international media and American media to be like, oh, look at the serious guy taking on gun control. It doesn't do anything. It's not going to make anyone safer. He knows this, but he's doing it anyway because it's political points. I don't know. That's how I see it. You might see it differently. I'd love to know what you guys think. Again, not saying you need the guns, not saying I want the guns, not saying anything good about the guns. Just saying this is the reality. This is how they're selling it. I don't like it.